Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing today? I hope you've been having a lovely week so far. Welcome to some Ace Attorney. I know I normally stream on Thursdays, but unfortunately I got an early shift on Friday, so I thought I'd play this on a Wednesday instead. How is everyone today? We shall be continuing with the second case of the second game. Also continuing the second game. But yes, welcome everyone. Oh god. Sorry, I was just setting things up. Let's see it go. We're on a trial. Obviously, the trials is like the best bit. Now, to keep up to date with what's been happening, we have met Athena's old friend called Jinxie. And Jinxie, which is ironic that is her name, is very, very superstitious. And she believes that there is something going on with the Nine Tails village. Now, the Nine Tails village has hold this sort of mythology has hold this lore that of the mythical creature called Nine Tails, and they even have like a professional wrestler based on this really godly mythical creature called the Nine Tails, who fought against this flying creature that would cause chaos upon different towns. Called, and I will get this, something Tanu. I can't remember the name of the flying creature. I can't freaking remember. Anyway, so there's a bit of mythology, there's a bit of lore between the two towns. And then Jinxie decided to go and see the mayor of the Nine Tails village. Now apparently there is a Nine Tails village that represents the Nine Tails creature, and the Tanu village that represents the Tanu creature. And apparently the mayors were like discussing some sort of partnership, some sort of collaboration. Would you call it collaboration? Some truce, if it were. That's what Tanu want to discuss with the mayor of Nine Tails village. And the guy said no. That was that. And then all of a sudden, Jinxie barged in and see both of them unconscious. Well, one of them was unconscious. That's the mayor of the Tanu village. But the mayor of the Nine Tails village was stabbed. Oh boy, he was stabbed. Hi, iFog. Welcome. How you doing, lovely? I was just recapping what's happening with case 2. How's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful week. Actually, now that I come to think of it, in a second, if you want to see the first part of the second case, because I think just watching it makes it a bit better explaining it than I do, then go right ahead. I'm just making this as a pin comment. I got you. Don't you worry. Yeah. Now, how are you doing, iFog? I hope you're doing so well. But yeah, the mayor of the Nine Tails village got stabbed, and the mayor of the Tanu village was left unconscious. And they saw like bloody footprints of the bird creature, the Tanu creature, all over the carpet. That was the crime scene. And who was blamed for the murder of the Nine Tails mayor? The mayor of Tanu. And not only that, the mayor of Tanu village is also Jinxie's father. So there is something going on when it comes, and apparently they have some sort of connection with Nine Tails Village. There is something going on with the connections between the two villages, as it were. They keep hinting that. We've also met, you know, the thief who keeps stealing crap, who keeps pickpocketing, and we've also seen the Tanu mayor's assistant, who is annoying as hell. But yeah, that is where we left off. I think it's best to watch the first part of the case too. I felt like I explained it absolutely horribly. So if you guys want to watch it, YouTube is on the pinned comment there somewhere. But yes, let us continue. So that was the investigation. Now we're on to the trial. Oh, Athena's thinking. You're okay, Athena? You've been really antsy ever since we got here. I'm just excited. This is my first real court case after all. Wait, what about that time against Mr. Well, Mr. Payne is a pain in the ass. I don't think he counts. Yeah, a real ball of excitement she is. I know just what she needs. Oh no! Oh no, this case was way before case 1. Sorry, we went back in time. Okay, no. Two things and things happened. Got it. Yes, I'm so glad you understand. So I did explain things correctly. Also, I love the emote. It's so cute. Wait, are you a streamer? And double check. Oh, but my laptop got derpy, but I got a new one now with everything set up. Oh no, sorry, I didn't even need to do that. I'm so sorry. That was by accident. I did not mean to put sub-only chat on. I'm so sorry. That was by accident. Ah, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Oh, well, let me know when you start streaming. I definitely would love to shout you out and things like that. Athena! Eek! Didn't you ever learn about indoor and outdoor voices? I'm just trying to show you the best way to relieve your pre-trial jitters. By scaring the daylights out of me? No, I find that shouting, "I'm fine," in a loud voice really relieves stress. I should really do that. Just shout, "I'm fine." I'm a big bundle of stress. I'm lazy enough to figure out OBS. OBS ain't that bad. I used to use Streamlabs. Oh my god, Streamlabs is like a whole other level. I hate it so much. I'm so happy about OBS. Never heard of Twitch Studio. I presume that is within Twitch. I don't think I've ever used it. I didn't know you could do Twitch Studio to stream. When I think of streaming, people immediately recommended OBS. But then again, everyone works differently. There are streamers who use Streamlabs, streamers who use Twitch Studio, and streamers who use OBS. I think OBS, out of all of them, is not likely to get tanked. It's been pretty good to me. There were a couple of issues with like the bitrate, but I did have internet issues. That's probably my fault. But yeah, I do hope you get back to streaming. It's part of my Court of Steel voice workout and a must before every trial. You want me to shout? Here? That's right. Here, I'll go first, then you try. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine. Alright, I'm Athena Sykes and I'm fine. I think that actually worked. Woo! It was Twitch own program, but they stopped working on it. Streamlabs, however, we're not touched out with a 30-meter long stick. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm off of Streamlabs. Streamlabs is just terrible. I used to use it with for commands as well, but the cloud bot thing just will just keeps turning itself off, and I just hate it. I'm doing fantastic, Loopy. How about you? And my fiance's doing well. Thank you so much for asking. How about you? I hope things are going well for you, lovely. I thought it might help. Always works for me. An old friend of mine from junior high and I say it all the time. Oh, are we going to meet his old friend? I see. A proven remedy to calm the soul. I like it. Hey, how about we finish off with a race around the courthouse? The point is to relieve stress, don't get totally exhausted. What's with all the racket, you two? I still can't get over the 3D models. I can't. I just hate it. Stream Elements. I do love Stream Elements and Nightbot. Never used Nightbot. I probably should. But I did see Nightbot around. I see people use it, and that's fair enough. Ah, Mr. Right. Just a little voice workout. Hey, what's with the suit? Oh, this? I was thinking about getting my attorney's badge back, that's all. That's all? That's huge news! But why now? I have a feeling I'll be needed in the courtroom again sometime soon. Ah, talking in riddles, as always, the Phoenix, of course. Comida! Hello, how are you? So good to see you. Hope you are doing well and have a lovely week there. No fair. Inquiring minds want to know. Exactly. We are lawyers. We have inquiring. Well, I'm not a lawyer. Can you imagine the court if I'm a lawyer? That would be so terrible. But wow. I'm so used to him in his usual laid-back clothes. I was going to ask about the 3D thingy, but thought I would sound silly. No, you don't sound silly at all, iFog. So I don't think... See, when I first saw the 3D thingy, it wasn't in this game. Well, it's funny. This is a trilogy, right? The first Apollo Justice game, it wasn't 3D. But the second game, for some reason, they decided, oh, you know what? That this 2D artistic visual novel style would need 3D models on a 2D background with some eyeless policeman behind you. It does look so odd. But Ace Attorney Chronicles, the one that's set in 1800s, like Victorian times, where England and Japan were supposed to be allianced, that was 3D. And the first time I saw that, I'm like, that's odd. Very, very odd. It still looks cute. Yeah, they look cute. And the thing is, the only person that looked good in this art style is Athena. But that's because this is the first game we've been introduced Athena. I want to know what she would look like as a 2D, but 3D, it just looks. So Athena looks fine. She looks great because I've never seen her as 2D. While as Apollo and Phoenix, and maybe the original characters from Phoenix Wright, if we're ever going to see them, I don't know. It just looks odd. It's the transitioning from 2D to 3D in my book. That's what I don't like. It's because of the newer consoles. So I presume. What do you mean newer consoles? Oh, Was this 3D in the original Apollo Justice? Or was this 3D only in the Trilogy game remake? Because that doesn't make any sense if the first game was 2D. Like, you know what I mean? Of the new console. So are we talking about Switch? Like, what new consoles were there in... when did Apollo Justice came out? 2007? What were the new consoles back then? Oh, the 3DS. Right. Okay. No, that makes sense. No, I get it. I still don't like it, but I get it. But that's me just being a... I love 2D. I did animation. I love doing traditional animation. I just love anything 2D. 3D is just... It doesn't do well for my eyes. But I'll keep going. By the way, have you heard about the prosecutor assigned to this case? Oh, yeah! So there is a new prosecutor, and it's not going to be the previous one. And that makes me very sad and very angry because he was a cool and he helped us put his brother away in jail, and that makes him so totally awesome. But apparently this prosecutor was it will come back to me. What was he? Why do I want to say a murderer? That doesn't make any sense. Was he a murderer? Yeah, he's serving time, but before that, he was a prosecutor. Yeah, Clavier Gavin was so good. He also uses psychology. That's what I was thinking of. The cool brother. Clavier Gavin was so cool. Yeah, but we're talking about the prosecutor that's going to be against us for this case. So we have not met this prosecutor before. He's serving time for something. I just can't remember what he was serving time for. They did say in the investigation. I believe I don't think he was a murderer. I don't think they said he's a murderer. He said something. What did he serve time for? No, it's not Christoph. I know that. They would not repeat prosecutors. And I doubt Christoph. And I doubt they're going to let Christoph off after what he did. Fucking hell. He also uses psychology. Oh, good. That's right. I've heard the rumors about how he was back before his conviction. Using the power of suggestion, he could make even the most stalwart defendants confess. That sounds like brainwashing. Look, I don't know anything about psychology, okay? Okay, I'm not a psychologist. I don't have any kind of education behind it or anything along that. But whatever he's doing, I don't know. It sounds like quite culty, brainwashing bullshit I've ever heard. Psychology in the courtroom. Been hearing a lot about that lately. But Athena's different. They technically did for the 5th trial for Trials and Tribulations. God. Hi, God Pharaoh! It's just a coincidence. I was about to say Goddo. But I don't think he uses psychology. It's been forever since I played Trials and Tribulations. A lot about that lately. So he must be a pretty scary guy. Oh! Considering he's a prison inmate and all. Oh no, it's not Von Karma. Why isn't he executed? Please don't let it be Von Karma. So they say. They also say he'll cut you down if you talk too much. Yeah, no, it is Von Karma. I knew it was going to be bad news. It's probably just hyperbole. At least I hope for your sake. Wait, so is it true or not? What are the prosecutors we've had in Phoenix Wright? We've had Miles Edgeworth, obviously. We have the two Von Karmas. Francesca and her dick father, Goddo. You should be concise and choose your words carefully. If you like to keep that head of yours attached to the rest of your body, that is. Oh, God. Is it Baron from the Ace Attorney Chronicles? Is he back from the dead? It sounds a bit like Baron. Oh. I kind of miss Baron. Oh, actually, to be fair, Ace Attorney Chronicles is the only Ace Attorney games where they did reuse the prosecutor. They reused Baron quite a lot. I love that Ace Attorney Chronicles. If there was one game I would happily play again the first time round, it would be Ace Attorney Chronicles. It's Sherlock Holmes. I love Sherlock Holmes. He just made the game where you have to deduct his awful deductions. It was the best. I'm sorry. I know I keep on going on about it, but that was like the best ever. And they should bring that back to this. But this is the modern times. They have technology and it makes things less fun. Edgeworth shows up in every game of the Phoenix Wright trilogy. Yeah, but not as a prosecutor. So are you all ready? It might be a good idea to check the court record again before stepping into the ring. I know. I suppose we should. Flower. Yeah. Wards. Yeah, Jinxie likes to put up wards. I definitely want to play his investigation games where he's a defendant. And I think I saw this. He was like, oh God, being defended is so fucking difficult. Yeah. Tenma Taro. Oh, I said his name wrong. I said Tano. Tenma Taro. Yeah, that is the evil creature. Yeah, that's a feather. Oh, feathers! I forgot about the feathers scattered everywhere. Got the mask. So, as I say, Ninetales, not the actual mythological creature. That Ninetales is someone poses Ninetales as a professional wrestler. There he is there. I suppose I can show you. Yeah, there he is. Yeah. Oh God, the wrestling reminds me of something that I just recently watched. Who's heard of Ned Fulmer, the I Love My Wife guy? He's trying to get back into the YouTube scene and try to be a professional wrestler called Nasty Ned. It was so odd. I don't know what he's doing. No, it just makes me think of that, and that makes me kind of angry. I like the Nancy Drew one. She was equally as chaotic in her own way. I need to play all those games. They are probably on GOG. Oh, I think you can get them on Steam as well. I saw them on Steam. But I really want to try the Nancy Drew games. A streamer I really, really love to watch is a big fan of Nancy Drew games. And I do want to play them. Oh, it must be that bit I was thinking of. JFA. What's JFA? What does JFA mean? I feel like I haven't played it then. And there were so many books, games, and tabletop games, and it all sounded random. Nancy Drew and a peanut butter thief in the Green Lighthouse. That sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. Like, you can make up whatever and it would be a good book. That sounds really good. If I get like a child, the first thing we're going to get is Nancy Drew book. They'll be like, right, we're going to read this and you're going to like it because I also want to read this book. Right, I checked the court record. Right, Mr. Right. But I'm fine. Oh. I'll be watching from the gallery. Good luck. Thanks. Okay, let's do this. The odds of pulling this off are ridiculously low, but that's nothing new. Believe in our clients. Seek the truth. That's all we can do. I just want to make it clear. We love, absolutely love, the mayor of Tenma Taro. Like, you just got to love him. You got to love him. You're going to be an absolute weirdo if you don't. We love him. Hang in there, Mayor Tenma. Here comes justice. All right. Of course we love him. We're defending him. Well, then again, there was a bit in the first game of Phoenix Wright where our defendant was an absolute shitbag. Oh, God. Court is now in session for the trial of Damien Tenma. Of course, his name is Damien. I forgot about that. Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor. All right. I know that big booming voice anywhere. As chipper as ever, eh, Mr. Justice? Hey, Judge, we love the judge. But who is the young lady next to you? I'm Athena Sykes, Mr. Justice's junior partner and fresh out of law school. Well, now full of beans too, eh? Excellent. Makes an old man feel young again. Now for the prosecution. It appears the prosecution is not ready yet. Never fear, for I shall explain. It's just a minor procedural complication, Your Honor. The prosecutor for this case is being escorted from prison as we speak. Prison? Oh, yes, of course. I almost forgot that he is currently serving time. Do we know him? Komeda, you said we know him.
Yup, Prosecutor Blackquill's an inmate.
Blackquill. You said he was our prosecutor before. I don't remember him.
But even a convicted murderer still got a job to do and duties to perform.
I was right. He was a murderer. So, where have we seen him before? I don't remember him at all. I don't remember him. Are you sure he was a prosecutor before? Did I miss a game? I think I might have missed a game. In JFA. What's JFA? I felt like I need to Google it. Oh, God. Justice for All. Oh, I have played this. Oh, wait. This was the second one, right? I think. 'Cause I think I played this. Oh, I have played this. Justice for All. Oh, I have played this. Oh, wait. This was the second one, right? I think. 'Cause I think. 'Cause I think I played this. Oh, wait. This was the second one, right? I think. 'Cause I think I played this. Oh, wait. This was the second one, right? I think. Yeah, this was the second game. Yeah, this is the second game. No, my bad. I have played this. That is so my bad. It has been years. Okay, then. But I still don't remember him. I bought my cousin's kids Lego, and it was not so I could play with it. I promise. Cousins. I think because me and my fiance always get shat on for liking kiddie things, for like kids things. So if we were to have a kid, we would be like, yeah, we're gonna go buy this. Not because I want to play it too. It's like back in the 90s when video games, well, I know video games came out in the 80s, but back in the early 90s, that was when Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, is that early 90s? Yeah, PlayStation 1, that sort of thing. They're becoming very, very popular, and the dads would buy the video games just for them, and their spouses would be like, why did you buy a video game? You're not a child. And he's like, no, it's for the family. It reminds me of that a little bit. And I feel like me and my fiance would be like that if we would have kids. My bonus dad has bought an NES, and we thought it was for us. Oh, how naive we were back in the 80s. Luckily, my dad hated video games. Wait, I don't know if that was lucky. But my mom was inspired by PlayStation from a friend's dad. Or her best friend's husband. Who is also divorced. I wonder why. But yeah. But yeah, my mom got inspired by video games and gave me a PlayStation. And PlayStation 1 was my first ever game console. Woo! And I've been a PlayStation kid ever since. Woo! Anyway, we've been looking at this asshole's back for far too long. Who's that with his back to us over there? That's him! I'm sure of it. Prosecutor Blackquill. Still don't know who he is. Is the prosecution ready? What the fuck is this? Why does he have a feather between his lips? Why does his eyes look like he hasn't slept for months? Why? You know what the hair reminds me of? Okay, who watched Fruits Basket? There is a guy there called Haru, and he has like black and white hair because he turns into a cow if he gets hugged. Looks like that. His hair is a cow. It's not a bird, it's a cow. You're a cow. Enough jabbering. Get on with it already. Of course, forgive me. Fuck off. You're a judge. Do something. Oh, why are all the people related to this case so scary? Very well. Prosecutor Blackquill, you're open. Oh, you still got chains. Well, what's the matter? The guy looks like he crashed an owl's nest in a drunken stupor, woke up 10 minutes ago. Oh my god, he does, doesn't he? What's the matter? Must we continue to fritter away time like this? Why do you care? Fritter away what time? You're in prison. You got nothing to do. What do you have time for? You also still have a feather between your lips. I don't know why. This pisses me off. It is all right there in the indictment. An opening statement would be pointless. Ooh. Pointless? Oh, well. Looks like the cat, or in this case, the prosecutor, has the judge's tongue. You could go for magpie. If he's going for a bird look, he looks like a magpie. But we need an opening statement as an overview of the case at hand. Yeah. You're in front of an audience. Very well then. Your boldness. Oh, fuck. Why is this guy from prison working for the judge insulting the judge? Why are there no other prosecutors anywhere to do this case, and they have to pick a murderer? Why does he have a feather between his lips? Where did he get the feather from? From prison? Did the pigeon just flew in? I'm so confused. Everything about this man. I'm going to Lucky Dirk a bit and try Minecraft for the first time since the Mahjong days. Wish me good luck. Good luck! Are you playing the Java and is it Bedrock edition? Very good indeed. Good luck with Minecraft. I hope it goes well, lovely. Do have fun. Oh, I didn't read what he says. That's what he says. That's all I heard from his mouth. Who, me? There's a term for people who whine and fuss about how they need silly, useless things. And then decide they no longer want them once it's theirs. A selfish old fool. Okay, so he called the judge a selfish old fool. I mean, I suppose he has nothing to lose. He is in prison after all. Huh? Wait, was that the prosecution's opening statement? Old dotards such as you are a plague upon the young. Oh, I wonder if he murdered an elderly person. I pity your poor grandchildren. Or is it great-grandchildren? Jesus! All these years I thought the opening statement was the prosecutor's job. But I suppose I could give it a try. Might be a nice change of pace. What? He actually fell for that? Fell for what? That must have been the power of suggestion Mr. Wright was talking about. What? Insulting him? The opening statement, huh? Let's see here. The victim was one Rex Cubi, alderman of Ninetails Vale. Ninetails Vale. What did I call it? Ninetails Village? Rex Cubi. Yep. And the defendant, Damien Tenma, mayor of Tenma Town, is accused of his murder. And why, pray tell, was the mayor arrested? His prints were on the murder weapon. Plus, he had a motive. The elimination of the biggest roadblock to the municipal merger. Merger! What did I call it? A partnership? He wanted to do a merger with the Ninetails Vale. Yes, do keep sharing facts about Ace Attorney, because I don't know much about Ace Attorney. I've played Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games and Ace Attorney Chronicles. That is the extent, because I've not played the original Ace Attorney games when they first came out. So that would be good. The caretaker and the secretary are the potential suspects. Both have alibis. So that is the thief and someone who works under Damien Tenma and his daughter. This is Jake C. She's Damien Tenma's daughter, who was also in the vicinity at the time of the incident, has no motive. She was the one who found Rex Cubi, or whatever his name is, dead, and her father unconscious in the crime scene. So in a nutshell, I'd have to say the charges against the defendant are incontrovertible. Bravo, your boldness. Your years of experience shine bright like your head. Oh, flattery will get you everywhere. He's playing Simon Says to the judge. Yeah. Moving right along now. Let's hear from our first witness for today, Detective Fulbright. Oh yeah, Detective Fulbright. I forgot. I completely forgot. We have met Detective Fulbright. He reminds me of that detective in Jonathan Creek who plays by Rick Mail. I don't know why. He's giving off Rick Mail vibes. If you haven't seen Jonathan Creek, I highly recommend it. That's something I should probably like just binge watch. I'm so going to binge watch Jonathan Creek. It's so good. It's about a magician who works alongside a detective to solve certain mysteries and murders. And Rick Mel, who is a comedian, who was a comedian, unfortunately passed away, who was a comedian, also played a detective in Jonathan Creek, like a very boisterous, a very confident, very handsome, jumps on the cars and yells at the top of the sky kind of character. And Fulbright reminds me so much of him. I can't remember the detective's name though. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I am the detective assigned to this case, Bobby Fulbright. Oh, and I'll also be keeping tabs on old Blackwell here. Good. Good. I also heard you would provide protection if it ever came to that. It would seem that I have been sorely underestimated. Can I say something about this? About Fulbright and Blackwell? I ship it. Kind of. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I'll ship it. I gotta ship someone in this game. It's just part of my blood. Wait, who's protecting who from what? Still, I truly believe anyone can turn their life around, even old Black Quill. Fulbright, save your platitudes for funerals. Get on with your statement. That's the spirit. Justice must be swift and true. I see it in your eyes. There is hope for your rehabilitation and return to society. I will never give up on you. Okay, no, I definitely ship it. Yes, I ship this too hard. Yes. Prosecutor Blackwell doesn't seem to intimidate Detective Fulbright. Well, you know what they say, ignorance is bliss. Lol. Oh, so that's why Detective Fulbright was assigned to Blackwell. He's so oblivious. That's it, Athena. Insult the person that's protecting you from a murderer in a court. Why the fuck not? Now, let's have your first statement, Detective Fulbright. You got it. But first, I'd like to say to the defense that justice will ultimately prevail. Let's go. About the murder. The murder? Oh. Ooh. I love the music. I think. Have we heard this music in the first case of the second game? I'm pretty sure we have, and I was like, no, I like the old one. But now I'm really digging it. Alderman QB. Okay, I'm just gonna say the name whenever I fucking feel like, in the way that I feel like it. And right now, tonight, I'm feeling like it's QB. Alderman QB was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon. Okay, yeah, were found on the murder weapon. At the time, Alderman QB was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. Okay, yeah. So, they fell asleep from a drug. That's right, I remember now. And they reckon Tenma reckoned that the reason why they found fingerprints on the spear is because they planted it, because he was also drugged. He got hit in the head, I think. Yes, he got hit in the head because he had a wound on his head and it was bleeding. Mir Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed the statue and struck back. Alderman QB had been slipped some kind of sleep-inducing drug. That's right. The accused was scared because the alderman was a former pro wrestler. So he slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be out cold and defenseless. So, remember when I said that someone was portraying Nine Tails, the mythological creature, as a professional wrestler for Nine Tails Vale? Well, they say that the alderman, the mayor, him, is the one who is the professional wrestler. So, yeah. Here's the autopsy report to prove it. Ooh. Cause of death, stabbed with a spear. Time of death around 3:20 p.m. The victim had been in a drug-induced slumber. And the victim managed to attack his attacker despite being impaled by a spear. Yeah, that one confused me. Wasn't it right at the heart? Well, I don't think it was right at the heart. It was right at the chest. That sounds almost superhuman. Is it even possible? Well, he was a former pro wrestler after all. Yeah, but Fulbright, it was in the chest, which it could most likely be in the heart. Now, I'm not a doctor, nor a professional wrestler, or coach a professional wrestler, but I'm pretty sure pro wrestlers are human. And I'm sure if you spear one right in the heart, they would still drop dead. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him. Can we see the court records? I'm pretty sure we have a picture. Okay, it wasn't... You know what? It wasn't in the chest. It was in the abdomen. I was wrong. You can continue. That is fine. But it will still hurt like fucking hell, I'm sure. But again, I'm not a pro wrestler. But at the same time, I'm not going to stab a pro wrestler just to see how they feel. Because the way that they fall and the way they do certain moves, do them in the way so that they don't hurt themselves. Because pro wrestlers can feel pain and they can get tired. So, no, Fulbright, that's not how that works.
Objection!
Not so fast. Don't try to brush it all off by saying the alderman has been a pro wrestler. Exactly, Apollo. Do you really expect us to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear? Never heard of the incredible feats of which man is capable of in a pinch, have you? Like the samurai of yore, wrestlers can battle through intense pain. It sharpens their senses. Is that true? But don't they have to do moves and fall in a way where they don't hurt themselves? It's quite a painful job, I can imagine. I used to talk about it with a former wrestler I met in the clink. Is that true? I don't know. It still sounds a little far-fetched. Yeah. There's a big difference between... There's a big difference between getting thrown onto the floor and getting skewered by a spear. Just saying. Does it now? Then perhaps we should test the theory on you with the edge of my blade. Why? Wait, what? Why are we testing on Apollo? He's not a professional wrestler. I didn't sign up for this. And so your life is spared. For now. Oh, good. I'm glad. Thanks. It's not like we're in a courtroom or anything. Please let the shackles be made of titanium. I don't want to die. Aha! My investigations are as thorough as they are foolproof, or my name isn't Fulbright. I vow to resign immediately if I ever make a false arrest. The accused prints are on the weapon, and he's the one person without an alibi. I mean, he does have an alibi. He got blown on the head. He was drugged. Quite decisive evidence. Wouldn't you agree, your boldness? I don't know. I think Black Quill is like a fun doofus villain. I could see that. I could see that. I just want to be clear. Anyone who played the original games, did he have a cigarette? That's the only thing I could think of why he has a feather between his teeth. Does he smoke? Did he have a cigarette? Is it like, is it like when you watch kids shows and you see kids having a lollipop to try to make them look cool because it's like they're pretending to smoke a cigarette to look cool kind of thing? But they don't want to put smoking in the game because smoking is bad. Is it that? I feel like it is. I wonder if Black Quill smokes. But then again, the question stands, where would he get the cigarettes if he's in prison? Just like how he would get the feather if he was in prison. I don't know. I think I would prefer the cigarette. At least then he would look less like an idiot. Wouldn't you agree, your boldness? The defendant is sounding guiltier by the minute. He has the judge leaning toward the guilty verdict and the trial's just barely begun. What's more, a curious rumor about the accused is making the rounds. They say he seeks the murder for the purpose of freeing Tenma Taro from his imprisonment. So now they're talking about the bird creature. Truth be told, I can think of no real reason to show interest in that backwards berg. Perhaps he's a complete nutter and really does seek to release an imaginary demon. Have you seen Orange is the New Black? Siggies can be transported and smuggled in interesting ways. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but who wants to smoke shit-stained cigarettes? Well, to be fair, they must be desperate. That reminds me of, wasn't there one episode of South Park where Eric Cartman was in prison and he was with, like, a cellmate who was, like, the worst kid ever or something on stilts, and he asked him to get some cigarettes and he shoved them up his ass and shit them out. I remember that episode. It wouldn't surprise me if it's in Orange is the New Black. Perhaps he's a complete nutter and really does seek to release an imaginary demon. He also have a feather in their mouth. That's way more cringe. Not only that, wouldn't that be full of diseases? Like, imagine this is a pigeon feather. Ugh. Either way, he is raving mad and more than capable of murdering the alderman. Don't you dare insult Taro like that. How dare you? Instead of donating, he tried to make a withdrawal. Wait, where the fuck do you get these from? Order, there will be no gossiping in my court. Your boldness. Please take a gander at those charms plastered across his cranium. I think he was wearing them because his daughter puts them on him and he loves his daughter. That's why he has so many charms on his head. because Jinxie keeps slapping charms on Apollo, thinking he's a red demon. But but if that's the case, then Jinxie would think her dad is a demon. I hear they're meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon Tenma Taro. Then again, so I got something stuck in my throat. Perhaps it's already under the demon's spell. Behold! The lunatic appears poised to lunge at you at any moment. We grew up 60% of the year on a small family island with relatives. They all told us to wash our hands after touching feathers before eating anything. I don't know why though. It's because birds would be flying everywhere. They would bathe themselves in water they see, eating things, you know, and then end up washing themselves. You just end up picking germs in your hands, you know. You never know what you're picking up from wild birds. That's the thing. And maybe that's why. And they're probably covered in shit as well. I don't know. Birds are basically flying rats. Tons of diseases. I don't know. I wouldn't say all birds. I don't want to say all birds are flying rats. Pigeons, maybe. They are considered flying rats because they are definitely full of diseases. But you know, you got some domestic birds to think about, you know. There are lots of nicer birds that knows how to take care of themselves. They're not all bad. Ew! The rumors and quirks of Mayor Tenma have no relevance to this case. Besides, those charms on his head, they're just a fashion statement, I think. Come to think of it, such things don't seem relevant to the case, do they? The prosecution will refrain from dragging our client's reputation through the mud. Oh, what a dreadfully fearsome lass we have here. Oh, thanks for that lifeline, Athena. Careful, Apollo. He has the judge dancing in the palm of his hands. The power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackwell's arsenal. He's trying to manipulate everyone's impressions to suit his objectives. This guy really is bad news. In any case, it seems the victim did manage to defend himself despite being impaled. What sort of weapon did he use against his attacker? None other than his statue right here. Yes, you can see the blood stained on top. Oh, excuse me. Seagulls too, yeah. Yeah, we get a lot around here because we live near the coast. Actually, we live next to the coast, so naturally we would have seagulls. Seagulls come to steal your food. I wouldn't have fish and chips or on the docks or anything if you want to attract any seagulls. I do find seagulls funny, however, very, very terrifying. I think I saw one carrying a mangled up dead rat. That was great. That was nice to see. I like that. Sorry, I'm so tired. I don't know what came over me. Anyway, seagulls too. Swans, however, they're so good at staying clean. I do love swans, but you're right. They do get angry very easily. We have a family of swans in the lake near where we live. So about months and months ago, they give birth to like what are they called? What are the baby swans called? I can't remember. They're not called ducklings. They're called something else. But they're like super cute, super great, super fluffy, and they're just so adorable. And we have a newsagent's nearby, and it's quite a big newsagent's as well. I think it's more of a convenience store actually. And the swan, one of the adult swans, I think it might be the mum, keeps biting at the glass, and it wouldn't hurt us or anything because it's too busy trying to get into the shop, and keeps scratching and biting at the glass. And it turns out that it was just hungry. And maybe he's not hungry, but it wants to feed the child. I think it might be the mother. And I remember one time I saw a man with a dog that's not on the lead, and I'm like, wait, keep the dog away because there's a swan next to the window. And bless the heart, he keeps saying, thank you, the dog is very sweet to me, it's very sweet. But I think people in the shop who worked in the shop realized that the swan really needed food, because it started selling like duck and swan food at the counter. And if anyone buys it, they use that money to go towards like wildlife charity. So it all worked out in the end. And ever since then, the swans stopped attacking the shop to try and get food. So it's like, luckily the swan was very docile. It was very odd. I think it was hungry, bless its heart. I think it was weak to do anything to the dog, luckily. I mean, not for the swan, but for the dog. But yeah, I think it's because it's a lake, and the lake is always surrounded by people. It's very used to people, but it did want food. And so ever since then, it stopped attacking the shop. The parents are healthy, the children are happy and healthy, and other children are turning into adults because they have white feathers now with some grey streaks on. It's so cute. So yeah, the swans ain't bad around here, but if they're hungry, they're hungry. None other than this statue right here. It appears to be a statue of two strange creatures locked in battle. Two yokai to be exact. Face us, you rude raven, you fucking asshole. Just because you're in prison for murder doesn't mean you have to be rude. I have a raven that is sleeping in my balcony flower pot. Sometimes that's so cute. He does not even move that much when I go outside anymore, but I refuse to feed him for obvious reasons. Yeah, for obvious reasons. You don't want to attract him, do you? But at the same time, that is very, very cute. I just like seeing birds everywhere. I love seeing birds. It reminds me of my gran. My gran, every time I go to my gran, she will always tell me about the blackbird singing in her tree, trying to look for a mate, and it always leaves feeling lonely, and she ends up feeling sorry for the blackbird. I miss those times. I miss my gran. Two yokai to be exact. On one side is a nine-tailed fox, and on the other, Tenma Taro. Quite interesting if you think about it. It's as though this very case were rendered in art. That's because it was. You daft ass. Where's Gavin? I miss him. Gavin is so much better than you. He plays the guitar, not shove feathers up his mouth. The weapon used to bludgeon the mayor. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination. We're over an hour and we've just shot the first cross-examination. Alderman QB was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall.
Hold it!
Hold it. So those weapons on the wall of the Fox Chamber, I presume those are real? Don't you think keeping real weapons around like that is rather dangerous? Don't people display real weapons all the time, though? I would love to have a real sword display on the wall. That would be so cool. I want to go to a blacksmith and make my own sword and display it. That would be so sick. There's there's a story, because who's heard of Terry Pratchett? So Terry Pratchett got knighted before he died. He's the author of the Discworld series, in case you don't know. But he was knighted for literature. And he thought, oh, since I'm knighted, that means I can carry a sword around. And he literally went to the blacksmith and made his own sword. But he got in trouble for carrying it around because it's illegal to carry swords around. And he got a little bit miffed. But that's pretty sick that he went to a blacksmith and made a sword, and I kind of want that on the wall. That would be so damn cool. No matter what he collected, the alderman insisted it to be the real deal. For instance, he had a real demon's club in his possession. Apparently, one of his ancestors claimed it after defeating a demon in battle. What? That's gotta be an old wives' tale. The alderman had pure, unadulterated justice flowing in his veins. Whatever he did it right. We've lost a real champion of justice in his death. Nothing but claptrap and balderdash, if you ask me. Now stop your bleating and tell us about the weapon. Your wish is my command. Oh yeah, they're fucking. It's quite obvious. The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon.
Hold it!
It doesn't make sense if you think about it. Prints could be easily wiped off. You do have a point there. I'd venture to say he did not wipe off the prints because he could not. What do you mean? What does that mean? You want to poke your eye out? Like, what does that mean? Looks like he wants you to figure it out. Why don't you stand there? Show him who's boss. But I'm totally lost. So why don't you just tell me the answer already? I don't think he saw that plea for help. You feeling alright, kid? Running a fever, perhaps? I wish trials came with a reset button. Don't you worry, it does. Well, for me at least. Well, the specifics may yet come to light. Please proceed, Detective Fulbright. At the time, Alderman QB was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested.
Hold it!
Come to think of it, a coffee cup was found on the floor. Was a sedative in his coffee? Bingo! We found traces of a sleeping agent all over the inside of the cup. And that is why he was out cold. That is until he leapt to his feet upon being impaled by the mayor. None of this makes sense! What an awful way to wake up. Has been impaled and then jump! You're ready to grab a statue that was on the other side of the room to hit the head of a very probably big strong man who can handle a bit of a bump on the head. Wasn't he drugged? Wasn't the defendant drugged as well? A rather stimulating eye-opener if you ask me. I too would have risen to the attack, for to die in battle is the samurai way. Paradise awaits fallen heroes, but that hole in the stomach will make eating a challenge. Okay, I don't understand anything what he's saying. Prosecutor Blackquill, please. Those morbid jokes of yours have no place in this court. Oh, he's talking about the drug. Say the jester in detective's guise. Moving right along. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab.
Hold it!
Hold it. So the alderman was drugged because he was really strong? Did you see those rock-hard muscles of hers? I'm surprised the spear even managed to pierce that armor-like musculature. I admit I'm completely jealous of that righteous body of his. Well, he did look pretty buff, even in that suit he had on. Yeah, it's quite a tight-fitting suit, isn't it? Quite a difference when compared with a yellow belly like you. Yellow belly? Who even says that anymore? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and the colour's all wrong too. Oh, I know. How about a squishy red tomato? I move to strike both of your comments from the record. Mr. Justice's character is not the issue here. Now let's get back to what happened after the far more muscular alderman was impaled. Let's go straight to the point. I like it. Let's go. Yes, well, your average person would likely have died on the spot. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed the statue and struck back.
Hold it!
Could he really have attacked his attacker after being impaled with that huge spear? Absolutely. After all, he was once a pro wrestler. The injustice of being drugged, the spear was answered with a righteous counterattack. But does being a former pro wrestler make him superhuman? Absolutely. After all, he was one of the good guys, like a superhero on the side of justice. Even though he was retired, he could still don his superhero guise in times of need.
Objection!
You need to lay off the comic books, detective. We're talking about real life here. No, but didn't we see like Tenma Taro flying out of the room? Setting aside the half-wit's flights of fancy, the fact is this. The court-ordered post-mortem concluded the victim moved after his skewering. So he found the strength somehow to attack his attacker, huh? Detective Fulbright's testimony sounds airtight. No wonder he's so confident. No, he only thinks it's airtight. It's up to us to poke some holes in it. That part about the alderman fighting back sounds like a big hole waiting to be poked. I agree. I super agree. He got a struck back. Yeah, that's weird. Maybe there's something here. I can't see the statue. There's no statue to be found.
Objection!
No. I thought that might be the case. Yeah. It was worth a shot. Maybe there's something in the autopsy report. Let's have a look. Yeah, had been in a drug-induced slumber.
Objection!
There's obviously something wrong with that statement. Your girl knows no bounds. It's shocking, really. What's that supposed to mean? You stand there, brazenly objecting to perfectly factual... Oh my god! I thought that was it. Yeah, consult. Let me figure this out again. The mayor's blood was found on, but no prints could be lifted.
Objection!
It's that one. Did the alderman really strike the mayor? What? Are you questioning my sense of justice? Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. You claim the alderman struck back after the mayor put a spear through him, but the statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory. It would appear that the defense has a counter-argument. Very well, let's hear what the defense thinks is odd about the detective statue theory. There are no fingerprints. There are no fingerprints on this supposedly crucial piece of evidence. And if you look at the crime scene photo... I used the crime scene photo and he said no. You'll notice that the alderman isn't wearing gloves. Yes, I believe he is quite gloveless indeed. If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, didn't you? Ah, this can't be happening! Did I arrest the wrong man? Oh, I wonder what happens to him when it shows that he arrested the wrong man. You did it, Apollo! You knocked Detective Fulbright off his high horse. Lol. Well, it's just 1 point in our favour. Who do you suppose clubbed the mayor if it wasn't the alderman? Well, if it wasn't the alderman, that means someone else must have clubbed the mayor. You mean there was a third party there in the Fox chamber? Exactly, and this could be the big break we've been looking for. There does seem to be a hole in the prosecution's argument. Prosecutor Blackquill, would you care to respond to the defense's assertion? Good argument! The least you could do is look at me while being dismissive. Yeah. Your mind is as dull as an unhoned blade. Justice Dono. I would want to see his freak out. I so want to see his freak out. Justice Dono? He's been watching too many samurai flicks. It'll take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackquill. That is an awful name. I'm sorry. It is. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackquill. There is a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall that blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime. Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at? I think he's saying he held the statue with this hanky. Oh no, my boy, why was there blood on that cloth? Solve that riddle and you shall see that the hole you thought you found is but an illusion. Now let's see, how was that cloth used? Was it used? Maybe the alderman wrapped the statue in the cloth. In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor. Ah! Precisely. Bully for you, boy. Oh, it was nothing. Paulo, don't let him start manipulating you too. You just closed a hole for the prosecution. I did? Was I meant to do that? I did. Right, that the statue wrapped in cloth will leave no fingerprints is as plain as day. Yeah, but hang on a second. Let's say that was true. Wait. Would it... Hang on. Okay. Everything is wrong there. Let's say I'm sitting down. I'm having a nice cup of joe, cup of tea, cup of whatever with the man of the other mayor, you know. We're having a natter. He says something like, I want us to have a merger, and I said no, and blah, blah, blah. Then hang on a second, the tea tastes weird. I feel a bit sleepy and drowsy and then fall asleep. They're not like, oh my god, this person wants to do a murder with me, ended up murdering me instead. I get up. I would not, while I have a spear poking out of my abdomen and get fucking stabbed by the mayor of the neighboring village that is there, probably smug as shit. I would not think, oh shit, hang on, I want to hit this man in the head, but I don't want the evidence to go against me. Let me find my little handkerchief while the spear is poking out of my abdomen. Get a handkerchief, wrap the statue, and then hit him on the head. And his blood-stained head looks like a penis. Like, it just doesn't... He wouldn't care. Why would he care if his fingerprints is on the statue? He wouldn't. He'll be like, oh my god, this guy stabbed me. Get a statue and fucking hit him in the head. He wouldn't be able to have that much thinking and brain processing to, you know, wrapped it in a handkerchief and not leave fingerprints. No one would think that if they have a spear sticking out of you. But this also proves there are no holes in our theory of the alderman striking back. Well, Apollo, oops. Ah! Let's see. Now, do you see how dull your mind is? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. A particularly frightening inmate once told me that. He always tenderly owned displays before he went to work, like the samurai of yore. He really loves samurais, doesn't he? Samurai sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me. Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Wait, so the inmate was a murdering samurai prison chef? This is a little sick, actually. It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all. I was kind of attached to that hole. No. Apollo's like, I like this hole. I had good feeling about this hole. But now I don't like that hole. Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mirror with it? Why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left prints on it. Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady. Ooh, he's intrigued by her. There's only one answer. The real killer. Prove the existence of this real killer then. What evidence have you? I'll give you evidence, alright. Athena, are you sure about this? To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine. Take a look at this. Black feathers and tracks, allegedly from a yokai, were found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue. Is the defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed that alderman? That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
Objection!
No, Athena, you just lost what little credibility we had left. Ah! Lol. Sorry, guess I got carried away. Mr. Justice, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense. Sorry, Your Honor. It's just this kid's still, well, a kid. Ouch. You meanie! I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright. No. So, is this court to believe the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it? No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman. Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that? Why indeed? Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partner is. Ouch! This I'm not reported to Mr. Wright. Hoy, fool bride, explain to his boldness. that what these brats are missing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm exhausted. You know the who and why behind those feathers and tracks. What? You mean you can explain all that? Our investigative prowess is without equal. I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession. Very well. Let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers and tracks. Yeah. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer. Those feathers and tracks stoked the villagers' fears? Absolutely. He knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. Yeah, they are very superstitious. I can understand. Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accursed demon Tenma Taro, that is. The Tenma who? A Tenma Taro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black-feathered demon, and thus were they blinded to other, more plausible explanations.
Hold it!
Hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imaginations run wild, isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect? Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at QB Manor. And as part of this event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Tenma Taro. Obviously, this person is a much more likely suspect than any legendary demon. Dullard, you are playing right into the killer's mind games. What? Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believe the murder to be the work of the real Tenma Taro. However, the police believe that the person in the Tenma Taro suit is the killer. Ah! They're a step ahead! Holy fuck! The defender sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the alderman, and thus our mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
I am not with it tonight. Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so stupid?
Objection!
The evidence speaks for itself, Fulbright. Right, it was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The amazing Ninetales was fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and the hometown favorite. That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. But do the people of Ninetales Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Wait, we have a newspaper. We have a newspaper to show the sighting of Tenma Taro. I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds. And what is it the prosecutor does? Just so, a particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey. You don't say. Was this inmate a con artist? No. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Okay, well, now I feel bad for laughing. Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey? I'm so confused. Oh, wait, I'm so confused as well. Yes, well, now then, the defense may proceed with their cross-examination. I don't know why, but the cross-examination just makes me exhausted. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger.
Hold it!
Detective Fulbright, is the anti-merger movement really that strong? Oh, absolutely. They parade around in yokai costumes shouting, "Down with Mayor Tenma!" And just the other day, they stormed Tenma City Hall, claiming it was a den of vipers. So, they've been harassing him. That's a bit rude. But when the accused showed his face, the angry mob scattered like leaves upon an autumn wind. But you see, lowly yokai are no match for Tenma Taro, the dark lord of their kind. Wait, are the villagers scared of Mayor Tenma or Tenma Taro? I'm confused. I think he means Mayor Tenma. It's easy to get the wrong impression about the guy. True, but we really like him, okay? Detective Fulbright, why do you suppose the defendant would commit such an act? Mayor Tenma panicked when the Amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters. The Amazing Ninetales, no one knows his true identity, right? That's right. And he was a lone wolf, or in other words, he didn't belong to a wrestling federation. He appeared like a shooting star, defeating one Tenma town wrestler after another. And before anyone knew it, he was champion. Like the samurai of yore. Is it Yore or Yor? I'm not entirely sure. Surrounded thick with enemies, he cut them down, one by one. It was a complete and utter loss of face for Tenma Town Pro Wrestling. He was amazing! If ever there was a real superhero, it would be him. I dream of becoming a true champion of justice like him someday. I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. He could even team up with Prosecutor Blackquill. A police detective and a prisoner in chains? You know, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. I would as well. However, I don't think it would be the kind of show that Apollo is thinking. So you do understand the greatness that is the Amazing Ninetales. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster.
Hold it!
Did the murder and yokai evidence really stoke the villagers' fears? Absolutely! It had an immediate effect. The presumed return of the dreaded Tenma Taro has them shaking in their boots. Oh my, is it really that bad? That superstitious lot. That superstitious lot is as if Jack the Ripper has been set loose in their village. Yeah, but... Tenma Taro and Jack the Ripper are not the same thing. And first off, Jack the Ripper was not a yokai. He was an actual man going around killing women. Oh dear God, that's not the same thing. God. There was newspapers about him. I just read something about Jack the Ripper on the news the other day, saying they found his DNA on some woman's shawl. What are you talking about? Oh, God. Do true crime podcasters have episodes about this guy? Jack the Ripper and Tenma Taro. He's not a well, he is a monster. He killed women. But... okay. The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a mass exodus. I see. That's a very persuasive argument. You know, the thing is, we have proof that Jack the Ripper was real. No one has proof that Tenma Taro was real. The mere thought of his honor buying into Simon the Psycho Slash's words. can't believe his name is Simon. Makes me want to spark my own exodus out of the courtroom right about now. So you see, there can be only one reason why anyone would plant those feathers and tracks. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer.
Hold it!
But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman Kirby? Excellent point. It is, isn't it? So your Honor agrees there was no reason for the murder, correct?
Objection!
David, perhaps the killing was on the spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? That sounds... Alderman QB's secret identity. Apollo. I think Prosecutor Blackquill has figured out the Alderman's secret identity. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the amazing Ninetales. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene. Oh my, but why would it have been there? The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say more? Well, yes. Wait. There's a pro wrestler. Could it really be? Your boldness has had an epiphany, I see. Our victim, Race QB, was the amazing Ninetales. He figured it out. I mean, we know that. But he figured it out. And the mayor's discovery of this fact was his motive for murder. No! Order, order. What a shocking development. A motive clearer than crystal clear. Oh, shit. So they reckon Mayor Tenma found out about Alderman's secret identity, and that's why they killed. He killed him. Oh my God! Well, that does make sense. What do we do now, Apollo? I do think they'll tie the Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At last, we've reached my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? Does it not pique your interest, your boldness? I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create this other persona just to secretly participate in the anti-merger movement. Very astute of you, your boldness. Right, now take a look at this. If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetales Vale with Tenma Town. Do not tell anyone about this threat. If you do, consider your dearest as good as dead. Not Jinxie. This blackmail letter was found in Alderman QB's pocket. What? At present, the Alderman's wife is in the hospital. And that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life. Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Tenma go missing? Right after the Alderman's murder? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder and planted it into the Alderman's pocket? It's possible, but we don't have any proof that that's what's happened. Talk about being up the creek without a paddle. So, a threatening letter discovered in one of Alderman's QB's pockets. Mayor Tenma would have made a clean getaway if he just left that after planting the yokai things. But he was knocked out cold by his sudden decision to kill the amazing Ninetales. So it was the amazing Ninetales' counterattack that brought the entire crime to light. In about 10 minutes, I'm gonna take a break. Wait a sec. Fulbright's claiming that the mayor killed the alderman after planting the yokai evidence. And that the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that. Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to your testimony. Mayor Tenma killed the sleeping alderman after planting the feathers and tracks. Yeah, we need to press that. So let me get this straight. You believe the mayor planted the yokai evidence before the murder, not after? Absolutely. And then he was knocked out cold by the alderman's last punch. He wouldn't have had a chance to plant the evidence after that. Something's not right here. Hard to believe that a stiff, humorless man like the mayor could be behind such a stunt. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We have to do something, Apollo, before they pin it all on the mayor. Then we're going to need to prove that Mayor Tenma didn't plant that yokai stuff. How are we supposed to do that? So we know the last statement is wrong. I can't think why. Well, that's the handkerchief. Is that the handkerchief? I'm not entirely sure. That might be the sofa. No, it's not the sofa. I think this letter was to Tenma. Oh wait. On top of the blood. Ah! Mayor Tenma killed the sleeping alderman after planting the feathers and tracks. Ah, he's saying that he planted them before alderman was killed. But as you can see, the feathers are on top of the blood. Okay, yeah.
Objection!
That took me a bit. Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair. What's this? You dare question my justice again? Yes, and I'm going to prove it to you. Take a look at this photo. This is the crime scene photo. And just what does this prove? It proves when the feathers and tracks are planted. But I already told you they were planted before the murder. We found a contradiction. The defendant planted the yokai evidence, then was knocked out while killing his victim. But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks are left at the scene. Yes, it's to this.
Take that!
Aren't you just pointed to the yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice? Yes. See how the feathers are on top of the blood and the tracks were made in blood? In other words, the yokai evidence could have only resulted after the murder. Then the mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the alderman. But you said it yourself. The mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant any evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else besides the mayor and the alderman at this crime scene. Ah, there must be some mistake. Ah, order. Well, where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you? I've just shown you the evidence. Why is it? I'm like, okay, here's the evidence to prove that you are wrong. And then they're like, well, then why are you showing the evidence to prove that I already did? Ha 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 ha. Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. If I don't have an eyewitness's testimony for you. You do? But how? What is this? Was my vaunted sense of justice really just half-baked? He's taking this really hard. Mr. Justice, what is this testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have? I have it right here, Your Honor. It's a sworn testimony of Mr. Tenma's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Tenma, saw a yokai in a hallway after stumbling upon the scene. Yes! Oh, shit! It was the demon Tenma Taro. He's the source of those feathers and tracks. Apollo. I thought we agreed that doesn't exist. Will somebody please say something? The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means. You dare to mock this court of justice itself? You're unfit to bear your name, boy. Your boldness. It appears our defense attorney here is delirious from exhaustion. Hold it! Apollo, think of something quick before you're held in contempt of court. What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should step down, please hear me out. Very well, Mr. Justice, I'm all ears. But you better explain yourself well. What was this yokai you were talking about? It's all in the statement here. Jinxie Tenma asserts that she saw Tenma Taro after she discovered the crime scene and called the police. She came around a corner in the hall. It was around here. There's Tenma, that she saw Tenma Taro fleeing towards the foyer. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster is the one who left those feathers and tracks behind, intentionally or otherwise. What? How incredibly unjust! Why haven't I heard about this before? There was someone else. The mayor isn't the killer? Was it all a setup? Oh shit. The prosecutor is a convicted felon. Yes, we know. Apollo, the momentum has shifted in our favor. Good. Now let's keep it that way. Of course. What? Little do you realize that though you are in the midst of a fray, your sword is broken. Of course it is. My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there's a problem with my claim? Consider this. If that yokai impersonator had indeed fled toward the foyer, that fool and that fop would have seen him. Yeah. Fool and fop? Oh, you mean Filch and the Bell? Those are their names. I forgot about them. Now that you mention it. Both Phineas Filch and Florent LaBelle were in the foyer at the time. I get the feeling I will not like this duo. But they haven't stated that they saw a yokai, have they? Did you ever consider that yokai was but a figment of a scared little girl's imagination? Why didn't those two see the Tenma Taro impersonator pass by? Why didn't we ask them ourselves? I was just about to say that myself. I thought we did. I thought we asked them and they said, no, we haven't seen anyone. No, really, I was. The defense would like to call Mr. Phineas Filch, caretaker of QB Manor, to the stand. I just know he must have seen something. I suppose we can't ignore the fact that the little girl believes she saw a monster. I trust you have no objections to Mr. Justice's request, Prosecutor Blackquill. I understand that Mr. Filch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby. I knew that Tanuki was a rare find, but when we captured him, I didn't think he'd end up a witness. Do with him as you will. Did he just say captured? No, wait, I don't want to know. Oh dear. Very well then. Bailiff, please go wake Mr. Filch and escort him to the witness stand. Oh, we're doing this now. Hello, my dude. Will the witness state his name and occupation, please? The name's Filch. Phineas Filch, caretaker of QB Manor. Oh, and this is for you, Lordship. Just a little something I thought you might like. Wow, what a fabulous pair of shoes. And your honor will do just fine, Mr. Filch. It's those shoes again. Don't they belong to Detective Fulbright? Don't tell me Filch stole them again. They're all yours, your honorship, sir. What? But they seem awfully expensive. Yeah, too expensive for me, but I reckon they'll be perfect for someone like your honorship. It's a kind gesture, but legal ethics dictate I can't accept such gifts. Oh, ethics schmetric. Just take them if you want them. Polish them up real nice for you, too. Oh, shush you. I'm sorry about the shoes, Mr. Filch, but I will accept your testimony. The court would like to hear whether you saw Tenma Taro in the foyer after the murder. Alright, let's hear it. Guarding the foyer. Guarding is a strong word, I think. More like just loitering. At the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. QB asked. I was making sure no one, fair, foul, fishy or otherwise, could get to our guest. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m. But I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary, no sorry. That yokai you keep jabbering on about was but a phantom of a little girl's dream. So, you're telling this court you never saw anyone dressed up like Tenma Taro? Yeah, was scaring the whole time. That's the truth, the whole truth, and none about the truth. I Tenma Taro, but I don't believe in all that yokai mumbo jumbo dear. I certainly don't. My bracelet. It's... Something the matter, Apollo? My bracelet keeps squeezing my arm. Really? So you think Mr. Tanuki, Filch has been lying to us? I wouldn't rule it out. Now, if I could just zero in on the tail, some sort of nervous habit. Green. Ah! What in the... What's a hawk doing in here? Allow me to introduce my trusty cohort, Tucker. Why is he attacking him? Also, that's a really cute bird. I love the bird. He seems to have taken quite a liking to the courthouse. Made it his new home, in fact. He doesn't live with you, you know, in jail. Who's ever heard of a courthouse bird? That sounds cool. Oh, look, Apollo. We had, in one of the Phoenix Wright games, we had a parrot as a witness. Like, don't make it seem like having a bird in the courthouse is weird. Tucker simply loathes trickery and fraud, and that queer power of yours seemed to have offended my dear Boston Buzzard. This isn't some sort of trick or... Ah! I won't be able to spot squat like this. Well, what the heck's going on around here? Run for the hills! No pets or other animals allowed in the courtroom. Ugh, somebody help! Oh, he's merely having a bit of sport. He won't harm you, save when truly famished. In that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, you will ensure your feathered friend is properly fed. I'm sorry, I just can't help that the hawk is so cute when he's scratching. Look at him. Looks like we have to do this the old-fashioned way. Well, we'll be fine, I think. If there was someone dressed as Tenma Taro there, Filch should have seen him. We'll just have to put our faith in Jinxie's statement for now. Mr. Justice, please proceed with your cross-examination. time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. QB asked.
Hold it!
How many times am I going to get attacked by the hawk, though? I didn't even start playing Minecraft yet. I was looking for a nice RTX thing and texture packs, trying to understand things. But you know what, Frog? That does sound like you started a Minecraft thing. Oh dear. I feel like Minecraft is a lot of work now. I do want to play it though. Oh wait, I do have it. I used to play it with friends, but now friends don't want to play it anymore. Mr. Filch, why did Alderman QB have you handle the guard duty? Because he trusts me. I am the manor's caretaker after all. Yeah, but you're not strong, are you? So you took said guard duty seriously? Let me tell you something about me. I'm... Yipes! Listen here, you little tanuki. Get straight to the point and be quick about it. The court wishes to hear what you did or didn't see in the foyer and naught else. Yes, of course, sir. Right away, sir. Blackwell's got him completely under his thumb. Like I said, I was guarded the foyer entrance that day. I was making sure no one, fair, foul, fishy or otherwise, could get to our guest.
Hold it!
So no one could get to him. Sounds like security was pretty tight. That's because there's always lots of sneaks and thieves around festival time. And the solution was to entrust the minor's security to a thief? That's not even funny. Maybe it's a matter of stopping thieves by hiring one. After all, it takes one to know one. I don't know, it seems more like letting the fox guard the hen house to me. I mean, yes, that is true. So the witness testifies that he took his guard duty seriously. Yes, sir, your honorship, sir. I was still in my office, keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 p.m.
Hold it!
Did you really keep an eye on the foyer the entire time? So the answer is no. Oh, poor old Filchy. Been working hard my whole life. Only to be smeared by some greenhorn in his fancy schmancy suit and silly haircut. Sorry, Blackwell, sir. Didn't mean to get off subject there. Jeez, Blackwell didn't even say anything. To answer your question, yes, I kept an eye. No, both of them, in fact, on the foyer. Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. But I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary. No, sirree.
Hold it!
Could you describe to the court who you would consider fishy looking? And someone all fidgety and shifty like. You know, like they were about to steal something. Also, you. You just described yourself. He just described yourself. Ah! Don't you love it when the game just copies what you say? Fantabulous. I wonder why Mr. Filch didn't see Tenma Tarot. Maybe Jinxie only thinks she saw Tenma Tarot. Or maybe Mr. Filch is lying. And if he's lying, we might be able to spot a contradiction in his testimony. Oh wait, what's the autopsy say? Yeah, after 3 p.m. He's right there. Okay. I tried this newspaper. No, it didn't work. Stop. Nothing out of the ordinary. Wait! Yeah.
Objection!
Yeah. Oh, come on! He was in the caretaker's office and he has a TV. He should see something. It was clearly misguided. So we know it's this. Let's consult. There has to be a contradiction here somewhere. Too bad I'm drawing a blank. There was a statement that I thought was a little strange, but I wouldn't bet my life on it. And which statement would that be, since I'm the one betting my life on it? Okay, if you must know, I'll show you the one I'm thinking of. Time to swallow my pride and let her lend a hand. There must be an inconsistency in the testimony Athena's pointing out. Oh, that would make sense.
Objection!
What? Oh no! No, that was right. He should still be able to see it. Well, that's bad. Luckily, you can replay the scene, so it's not that big of a deal. But still, that annoyed me. Guilty. Oh, no. Replay from the scene. I was still in my office, keeping a good watch, when the murder happened after 3 p.m. That is what I'm supposed to present.
Objection!
Nope, it's not that one. After 3 p.m. Oh! I wonder if he was watching that.
Objection!
Yeah, he was watching that. Don't lie to the court like that, Mr. Filch. Ain't right to bushwhack a fella like that. Unfortunately for you, I have evidence that proves you're lying. If you look at this TV listing here, you see that at the time of the crime, there was a pro wrestling match scheduled. Something you'd never miss. Ah! I didn't watch that one, no sorry. I was doing my job just like I was supposed to. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Mr. Filch, someone even circled the match. It was you, right? Okay, this music is hilarious. Not only that, you even told me you watched it. You said, and I quote, "It was a complete disaster." Ah! So, do you admit to slacking off? You can't trick me with your Rudy Poo lawyer talk. I'm one of the professional types too. I could do double duty watching TV and the foyer at the same time. The only thing Filch can claim to be a professional of is professional thief. Mr. Justice, you would have this court believe the witness was sucking off? That's correct. He claims to have been watching TV and the foyer at the same time. But that's nothing but a bold-faced lie. Bold, you say? And I'm not the one who's lying. Perhaps you met the witness, Mr. Justice. And in that case, let's see what evidence you can offer. You claim Mr. Filch is lying about watching TV and the foyer simultaneously. Now prove it. It must be this.
Take that!
Please take a look at the direction the TV is facing in this diagram. Now, unless Mr. Filch has eyes where his right ear should be, I think it would be impossible to watch the foyer entrance and the TV at the same time. Well, yes, someone watching TV there couldn't possibly see the entrance. Exactly, and that means Mr. Filch, you are slacking off and were not watching the foyer as you claim. Yipes! The bag's out of the car! I mean the other way around! Yeah, we don't like him. Order! 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 But Mr. Justice, is Mr. Filch's less than stellar work ethic relevant to this case? It's very relevant because while he was slacking off watching TV, there really could have been a Tenma Taro impersonator in the foyer.
Objection.
What now? Granted, this Tanuki was lax in his duties, but he still had the foyer entrance covered. What are you talking about? Well, at least he likes his bird. This. I'm not a mind reader. Auditory sense. His eyes may have been sucking off, but his ears were still hard at work. Right, Tanuki? They were? I mean, yes. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. But you already admitted to sucking off. Now you say you weren't. And my eyes might be lazy, but my ears ain't. I would have heard anyone in the foyer. You see, the foyer floor and stairwell get all creaky squeaky when someone walks on them. Ah, but he was flying. Creak, creak, creak. Loud enough to wake the dead, I reckon. So, you're saying you didn't hear anybody walk by? Yeah, my ears are working full time. So who's the liar now, you no good shyster? A lying thief calling me a shyster. This has to be the low point of my fledgling career. Lol. Bollocks. There we go. Gonna hand it to you, Mr. Blackwell, sir. You really are something else. I mean, you don't miss a thing. And then bags under your eyes, they're darker than mine. Fair warning, Mr. Filch. Taco is particularly fond of Tanuki. Should you lie to this court again, you may suddenly find yourself on the menu. Yay! Please don't hate me, Mr. Tucker, sir. Okay, I like Mr. Tucker. He's cute. The witness will henceforth testify truthfully under penalty of painful bird attacks. And with that in mind, the court requests that the witness revise his testimony accordingly. More? I best stop this at midnight, I believe. So hopefully. It's true. I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV. My eyes might have been sucking off, but my ears, they were working overtime. The floor there's all creaky squeaky like. No way I would have missed someone walking by. So you see, there weren't any no Tenma Taro in the foyer. Yeah, we're going to show him the newspaper. Superstition is the religion of feeble minds. Understand? You're still poking your eye out. A simple, rational explanation is best. Forget your Kai demons as such. We must use common sense, for lacking that, our entire world would be but upside down. Says the convict prosecutor who's totally a sign of the end of times for the legal world. And besides, if there were any yokai roaming about, I'll nab them and sell them to the zoo. I wonder whether Jinxie was just seeing things. That seems to be the general consensus, but I'm sticking to my guns. But if we can prove she saw Tenma Taro, the mayor's sure to be convicted. Then we better hope my guns fire bullets, not BBs. I don't know what... Wait, what does that mean? The defense may cross-examine the witness. There we go. It's true. I was watching a pro wrestling match on the office TV.
Hold it!
Hold it! You are paid for your work, aren't you? How do you justify watching TV on the job? But it ain't easy being me. I mean, I can't watch TV when we have visitors and there's no way to record stuff. Sorry, am I supposed to be consoling you over your first world problems? If those are his only problems, he should consider himself lucky. I guess pro wrestling's serious business to Mr. Filch. My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, they were working overtime.
Hold it!
You lied earlier about taking your guard duty seriously, didn't you? Oh, that ain't no harm in bending the truth a little, right? It is if you're in the court of law. Listen to me, you little tanuki. Lie again and Taka shall feast upon that forked tongue of yours. There you go. Yips! Sorry, just let me keep my tongue. At least leave it until we get the truth out of him in case. You were negligent in your duties, were you not? Yes, sir, I was, sir, but it ain't like that. The floor there's all creaky squeaky like. No way I would have missed someone walking by.
Hold it!
Yeah, we don't believe that for a second. So you have pretty good ears, Mr. Filch. As good as they come, I'd say. Ain't nothing to hear a creaky floor. Plus, that Tenma Taro makes a sound when he goes by. It's like a jingle jangle. Jingle jangle? How does he do that? It's that staff of his. That's what jingle jangles. What's he talking about, Apollo? Beats me, but I guess Tenma Taro has a staff that makes noise. Come to think of it, didn't Jinxie mention something like that too? She said she saw Tenma Taro holding a staff-like object that made a jangly sound. I guess that's the source of the noise then. Also, I presume it... Oh, the rings! Ah! Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Filch says the Tenma Taro jingle jangles. Would you consider that vital information? It should be, yeah. Extremely vital. I request that it be added to his testimony. If Tenma Taro was to pass by, his staff would have gone jingle jangle. Jingle jangle, jingle jangle.
Hold it!
So Tenma Taro's staff makes a distinctive sound? Yep, like a jingle and a jangle. Wait, Jinxie said something like that. Something about Tenma Taro making a jangly sound. I think we're missing something here, but I can't quite put a finger on it. Perhaps I should take a look at the court record again. Have we done everything? See, there were no Tenma Taro in the foyer. Good person. And then look at the court records. Please tell the court what did Jinxie see if it was not Tenma Taro. She's always going on about seeing this yokai or that. Just an active imagination, I reckon. She won't even come near me because she thinks I'm some sort of tanuki monster. Can't say I blame her. So, Mr. Filch, you chalk it up to a child's active imagination? Yep, no Tenma Taro or anyone else I got in or out of QB manner on my watch. Apollo, what could this mean? Do you think Jinxie was just seeing things? Well, if that's the case, the details she provided were pretty impressive. But if we're to continue believing Jinxie's statement, we'll have to uncover Filch's lie. Right, or find out why he can't tell the truth. Ah, I forgot to do a thing in this voice, that's alright. So I thought it'd be this. But it might be that. Let's have a look. Did this say anything about Jingle Jangle? No.
Objection!
No, it's not that. Oh, it might be on the other statement. No, I'll do Jinx's statement on the other quote. Let's try this. So this is Jinx's statement. It also says there's no one else in the hall.
Objection!
Oh god. I am so bad at this game. Let's try the newspaper.
Objection!
No. Why am I so bad at this game? Oh, let's consult. There has to be a contradiction here somewhere. Sure. There's a statement that I thought was a little strange, but... Would that be, since I'm the one betting my life on it? Alright, let's have a look. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Objection!
No, why did that not work? I don't understand why Jinxie's statement did not work. Let's have a think. So if that's the statement that has a contradiction, which it does, that was obvious. It might be something to do with the blueprints. I am exhausted. I am exhausted. Oh, I think let's try the blueprint. Oh, fuck. No. I did not mean to do that. I need to get the statement back. I did not mean to do that. Yes, I'm gonna press the witness. I know.
Hold it!
We said it was very important. So I think...
Objection!
It's not that. What else could it be? We tried the statement. We tried the map. Is there something else we've tried? didn't have a staff there. Wait, no, what? No, that's it. Shall we try this one?
Objection!
No. I can't think what it could be. It will make a jingle jangle sound. See anything? Have you tried the newspaper?
Objection!
We did, I think.
Objection!
Oh, it is that! Tenmato's staff would make a jangly sound, you say? Well, I'm going to say that your story doesn't add up. I wonder why it's a tam. Is it because it's not showing the staff? Is there something the court defense would like to share with the court? Mr. Field, you say that you didn't see Tenmataro on the day of the incident. Why then did you assume just now that Tenmataro would be holding a staff? Huh? You see, the Tenmataro Jinxie saw held a staff in his hands. As you described, it sounded just like you did, as a kind of jangly sound. Yeah, so he was holding a staff. What's your point?
Objection!
The point is that Tenmataro doesn't use a staff. Not normally. What are you talking about? You see, this is the only known document depicting Tenmataro. Is there a staff in that picture, Mr. Filch? You're right. There's no staff, not even a cane or a walking stick. Ah! So the question is, why does the witness think Tenmataro uses a staff? I believe the answer will overturn the prosecution's case on the most basic level. Well, now. This is getting interesting. Oh, he loves us. All right, Mr. Justice, it's time to show the court where you're going with this. Please tell the court why Mr. Filch believes Tenmataro carries a staff. He actually saw Tenmataro. It's the only way, it's the only explanation. Mr. Filch actually saw Tenmataro right after the crime occurred. That's the only way he could possibly know about the staff. But busted again! Bloody hell, you just... Oh, that was a slash. Yes, how'd that feel, Black Quill? Yeah! That's so fun when you're on the receiving end of the blade, is it? Admit it, Mr. Filch. You did see Tenma Tower that day, didn't you? Well, I'm begging you, please don't make me say it. But clearly you did see Tenma Tower. Stop stalling and testify to that fact. No could do, no way, no how. You ain't got no idea how terrifying he can be. He? Mr. Filch still won't admit to seeing Tenma Tower, even though everyone knows he did. The question now is, why? Mr. Filch is scared to death. Is that why he can't admit the truth? Come to think of it. Katie, you must not gaze upon Tenma Tower, but in the event that you do, look. And then tell anyone of what you saw, Tenma Tower will claim your soul. Right. Jinxie wouldn't admit to seeing Tenma Tower after hearing about the village superstitions. She said that if she told anyone that she had seen Tenma Tower, he would claim her soul. Wait, you think Filch believes that too? So Mr. Big Time City Sticker Lawyer has heard about them? Them old village superstitions? Will the defense please explain what the witness is talking about? The people of Ninetales Vale believe some pretty strange things, and their superstitions may be the reason our witness here can't admit the truth. The truth that he really did see Tenma Tower. Damn straight, that's why! It's all right here. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul. See, that's why us folks in Ninetales Vale can't talk about seeing Tenma Tower. That will be very useful. So useful, I think, against the actual killer. That clears up one mystery. The killer took advantage of the superstitions by wearing a Tenma Tower costume. They knew that way no one could talk about him, so it was as if he never existed. The defense holds that the Tenma Tower impersonator is the true killer. What?
Objection!
Objection! Superstitious, you say? What kind of a fool would actually believe such rubbish? And without using some silly fairy tale could be so easily expose the culprit. It can, actually. Oh dear. You'll need to come up with a more rational, common sense explanation than that.
Objection!
Objection! Your common sense seems awfully narrow-minded to me, Prosecutor Blackquill.
Objection!
Try living in my world of narrow cells, mortal danger, and dark, sleepless nights. There is no lack of superstitions in the clique, but few are those who truly believe
Objection!
in them. Yes. Well, we are not falling into whatever your manipulation is. Well, the village superstitions are real enough to the people of Ninetales Vale. A life or death superstition might make even you a believer. Grrr. Yes! Get rid of that fucking feather. Order, order, I say. You fool of a Tanuki. 2 times now, your lies have cost me. Sorry, I promise not to do it again. Oh, that smile really pisses me off. Tucker, my fine feather friend, have at him. Okay, well the hawk can do whatever he wants to him. Yes, he's gonna eat me alive! Head for the hills! Ah, he took off. Well, that's that then. But bailiff, what are you waiting for? After him, and with your fastest men. That's certainly not something you see every day. Well, it would seem a new and important fact has come to light. A third party disguised as the yokai Tenma Tower was at the scene, and now we have 2 witnesses who can attest to that fact. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackquill? That is a very long... It's a very long pause, Blackquill. Did he break his shackles? What? Huh? Ah! His shackles. Oh, I'm too young to die. Justice Donner, long has it been since I've been forced to draw my blade. You had best say your prayers. This is the court of law. Eek! Judge, where the fuck are you going? Not sure about their facial expressions, though. Detective, do something! Have no fear, Fulbright is here. When the going gets tough, the champion of justice gets going. They get going already before he kills us. Oh, but I stand in awe of Simon Blackwell, for it is his sense of justice that set him free. Objection, objection, I object to Detective Fulbright's definition of justice. Get your judge is still around. He didn't run. Oh. I'm not in the habit of cutting down unarmed cowards. Oh, well, in that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, can I ask you to, I think the judge forgot he's in charge here. Yeah, he just ran off. Oh, he ran off. So, Justice Donner's assertion is this. Tenma Taro is a real killer, not Bear Tenma. According to him, there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Right. And that yokai, or rather, whoever was impersonating him, killed Alderman QB.
Silence!
Shut up! Care to explain why Jinxie, being the first to discover the murder, did not see your alleged killer yokai there in the Fox chamber? What? He's right, she said nothing about Tenma Taro being in the Fox chamber. Let me enlighten you. That little scamp heard the dying scream right before she opened the chamber door. And your point is? Upon opening the door, she found a freshly skewed murder victim, the alderman, and the homicidal maniac who had killed him, the mayor. No, there must have been someone dressed up like Tenma. Ah! Then why does that little scamp claim not to have seen a yokai in the Fox chamber? Considering her father is accused of murder, surely she would have mentioned any third party that might have been in the room. I don't understand. Why didn't she see Tenma Taro inside the Fox chamber? There is but one way to find out. Ask Jinxie Tenma whether she saw your killer yokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. The final battle draws nigh. Only one of us will leave here alive. Long has my blade thirsted for blood. At long last it shall be sated. Wait, this is still a trial, right? It never was, Apollo. It never was. Show me what you're truly capable of, Justice Dono. But why is the hog attacking me? Very well then. Both parties no doubt need some time to regroup. So the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to... Ah! 3 minutes. Why 3 minutes? I'm sorry, but a 3-minute recess? Just so plenty of time if your destination of intent is the loo. The loo? You mean the bathroom? Sheesh, at least include enough time to wash our hands. See that you take no more than 3 minutes. All latecomers will be punished. Yes, sir. I hereby declare a 3-minute recess before the battle begins. I declare Prosecutor Blackwell the winner of this round of Simon Says. Doesn't bode well for us if the prosecutor is running the show, does it? I'm hoping this is a break. He busted out of his shackles. Yeah, what was that all about? Guess they don't make shackles like they used to. Better be careful, Apollo. You've really brought out the samurai in him. Especially after you proved there was a Tenma Tower impersonator at the manor. What's with that guy and the whole samurai act, anyway? Such fine swordsmanship. That is no mere act. Mr. Justice, it's high time I challenge this jailhouse prosecutor to a duel. No, wait! Let's save the dueling until after we prove your innocence. I suppose it could wait till later. See, this is why we love him. Does anyone remember we're conducting a trial here? Athena, I'm gonna go wash up. Remember what Blackwell said, Apollo. Don't be late. We're really going straight into this? Now then, I believe our next witness is Miss Jinxie Tenma, a maid at QB Manor. I believe we could proceed now, if the witness is ready, that is. The leader of the 100 demons, he really does exist. This one well-polished tray. The witness will show her face while in court, or her testimony would be inadmissible. Eek. What is it, my child? Begone! Arion, leader of the 100 demons. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Oh, you think I'm a yokai? Well, I was once known as a judicial monster of sorts. The beast of the bar, the demon of due process, if you will. Eek, my charm has no effect. The demon of due process. Not sure I can see that one. Now, you little scamp. Yes? I trust you know why you're here. Bags. Bags? Oh, that tricksy tanuki. Try the noodle stand and go enjoy a big bowl of tanuki tail noodles while you're at it. Everyone's a comedian. No, I meant your bags. The ones under your eyes. You must have trouble sleeping. Here, this charm will keep Azuki Karai away. Azuki-arai, the yokai that washes Azuki beans? The only thing needing washing will be your father's net before I take his head clean off. Azuki-arai often keeps people up at night with the noise he makes washing beans, but if you still stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore. Is that so? Well, thank you. Let's say Prosecutor Blackquill got more than he bargained for. They're bad enough alone, but together those two are just plain creepy. Your testimony, if you please, Miss Tenma. Specifically, whether or not you saw Tenma Taro when you discovered the crime scene. Right, let's hear it. Did I see Tenma Taro in the Fox chamber? When I opened the door? I saw. Yes, now I remember. You okay? You okay? Right there in that room. That was quick. So there was a yokai at the scene of the crime? Yeah. Lots of them. Wait, lots of them? Wait, more than one yokai? Did Tenma Taro happen to be among them? I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is the room was swimming in yokai. Kasha, Nurikabe, etc. Taisho. Yeah, they were all there. Well, this is an unexpected turn of events. We've gone from no yokai to a flood of them. This is ludicrous. You would have this court listen to this delusional little scamp's testimony?
Hold it!
Your Honor, I believe her memory is simply clouded by fear, but a quick therapy session should ease her mind. With the court's permission, of course. What a fabulous idea. Please proceed, Miss Sykes. You sure you know what you're doing, Athena? She's obviously not herself. The trauma of discovering that crime scene and fear of testifying have her dazed and confused. A regular ball of confusion. But my analytical psychology-based approach should be able to help. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackquill? Shall we let Miss Sykes proceed? It makes no difference to me. Do as you will, but I doubt we shall get any viable testimony. Should be better served by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land. I'll show you. Oh, I love this! Yes, let's go! In the fox chamber? Oh, when I opened the door, I saw. Yes, now I remember. Yokai, right there in that room. Found something. Looks like an out of control emotion. Athena, what exactly are we looking at here? Oh, this? It's one of Widget's functions. Right here, you can see images and emotions extracted from the witness's voice. Whoa, you mean that little thing can do all this? Pretty cool, huh? And here I thought it was just some kid's toy. Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflow error right now. See how sad is brightly lit there at the bottom left? She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is masking her other emotions. It seems the sheer terror she experienced has made her a confused mess. So, all those yokai she thinks she saw are a product of rampant emotions. This is some deep shit. Yes, that's right. Her fear has instilled in her hallucinations of false memories. She's seeing normal everyday objects as monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma. No, wait, this is scary shit. And the trauma in Dixie's case is fear. So she was and still is seeing ordinary objects as yokai. We'll have to find the root cause of her extreme fear before I can treat it. Now let's see. I love this. Apollo, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? She seems particularly terrified of that one. Start by pressing probe. Next, point to what's causing Jinxie out of control emotion. Finally hit probe again. R to try and get to the heart of the matter. Okay, let's give this a try. So, what? I press Q. Cup monsters, raccoon dog. Oh, what's this? A wall monster? Oh no, it's R.
Got it!
Okay. Jinxie, what's the name for that yokai on the Wheel of Fire? That's Akasha, a yokai that steals the bodies of the recently deceased. I bet it came to steal the aldermans. It's almost creepy how well that fits the actual situation. Exactly, it's a form of hallucination where the patient can't see things for what they are. There must be something at the scene of the crime that she's mistaking for Akasha. Apollo, you need to point out what she thought was a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. This is crazy shit. I think I know the answer now. Jinxie, that wasn't Akasha you saw. Could you have possibly mistaken this for Akasha? You mean this?
Take that!
This is what you mistook for Akasha. What? That thing? No? I never mistaken that for Akasha. Really? You have to consider what Akasha looks like, Apollo. So it is... See, the monster... This thing makes sense, but this?
Take that!
Let's the light fixture? This one right here, it has a flame design and is up there on the ceiling. There was never a yokai on the wheel of fire. The castle you saw was just a light fixture. Okay. That's one memory back to normal. Nice job. Now that you've got the hang of it, it should be a cinch to point out the rest. Jinxie, what about this white wall-like monster? That's Nurukabe. It's a wall monster that blocks your way or leads you astray. That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a folding screen. Eek! And this raccoon dog isn't a tanuki monster. It's just a statue of one. Eek! And look, these are just coffee cups. And this right here, it's nothing more than a fox statue. Eek! I don't know what I was thinking. I do feel bad for Jinxie. You did it, Apollo! Her extreme fear is under control now. It was all just my eyes playing tricks on me. There weren't any yokai at all, after all. See, a clear-cut statement. That's the power of my psychology and your intuition, Apollo. And just like we thought, there never really were any yokai in the Fox Chamber. Right, there never really were any yokai there. So the defense is asserting the exact opposite of their original assertion. No, we said someone was impersonating. Wait, Jinxie, what about Tenma Taro? There wasn't anyone there dressed up as Tenma Taro or any other yokai either. I remember it clearly now. You've gotta be joking! Oh, Jinxie, what have you done? Jinxie, order in the court. I think we just dug our own grave. Allow me to push you on in. It's the least I could do. No! Apollo, can I interrupt your freak out for just a minute? I'm still picking up some noise. It's an unexpected emotion. Does that mean Jinxie hasn't remembered everything yet? Exactly. We should be able to get something else out of her. I'll enter the new information we have and run an update. Did I see Tenma Taro in the Fox Chamber? I was so scared when I entered the room. My legs gave out and I fell to the floor. Wait, she's happy. They're in the Fox Chamber. No, sorry, surprise. No, it's fine. I saw the alderman dead on the table and Baba collapsed in the chair. Nobody else is there, and that includes Tenma Taro. Wait, what am I supposed to do? Try to find emotions that contradict her statements. So if I find a contradictory emotion, I should point it out? That's right, but it's not just contradictory emotions you should look out for. You should also keep an eye out for sudden changes in an emotion's intensity. Her emotions might get stronger or weaker as you move from statement to statement. It's important to compare how the same emotion changes throughout the testimony. Contradictory emotions and changes in intensity. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Okay, I think... So they're the same. In the first chamber? And then into the room. Okay, so she looks... Yeah, she looks scared. My legs gave out and I fell to the floor. She still looks scared, that's fine. That also makes perfect sense.
Got it!
I don't think I was right. Really? Because I don't see it that way. So it isn't unexpected giving her testimony? Hello? Is there anybody in there? Just nod if you can hear me. Okay. I went down a huge rabbit hole to update the overclocking for Minecraft. This is why I like small indie games that just work. I am the same. Oh, I'm so sorry. Does that mean you didn't get to play Minecraft then? Who is this one?
Got it!
That's not correct either.
Got it!
Luckily, I won't lose points. That's scared, right? Yellow is scared or shocked. Oh, she's not scared.
Got it!
I don't know what I'm supposed to look for.
Got it!
I can't seem to get anywhere. So I'm just gonna try everything. Wait, what?
Got it!
I'm not getting anywhere with this one. This one's hard.
Got it!
I can't see any. I tried this one.
Got it!
Oh! The amount of fear you felt is rather low despite your legs having... That was fear. The blue was fear. Turns out the vanilla version would be just fine after some research, so I bothered myself and others, so I will now. Okay, well, I hope you have fun with Minecraft anyway. Yeah, vanilla is perfectly fine. If it, yeah, just for building or surviving. That's all you really need, really, isn't it? I don't really know what extra ones you have in the Java and Bedrock editions. In fact, it's rather low, despite your legs having given out from fight. Could something have lessened your fear? Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at that moment. You did? Where did it come from? Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as if she was there with me. Okay, I'll enter a sudden burst of courage. Now let's see. Ah, look. Nice. Apollo, the noise is all gone. Jinxie seems to have remembered everything now. Bye-bye! A sudden burst of courage. Now where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage? Yes, there was, but yeah. I realized I had done something naughty when I thought about it later. Any idea what could have given Jinxie that courage? Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes to mind. I wonder if she saw something like it at the scene of the crime. Jinxie, did your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this? The flower! Jinxie, you didn't happen to see a nine-tails flower there at the scene, did you? The demon lawyer strikes again. I can't hide anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of a nine-tails flower on it. I liked it so much I kept it. You what? You can't remove evidence from a crime scene. Oh, Jinxie. That's right, young lady. Removing evidence is a big no-no. Now, the witness will produce said evidence this instant. Sorry. It does seem to be some sort of case. Look, something stood out. It appears to be a key. Might I have a look, your boldness? Oh. This is none other than the master key to Cure by Mena. Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackquill? It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder. A master key that went missing? Why don't I like the sound of that? Our little scamp here has stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence. That's a little melodramatic, don't you think? Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. The sole key to the Fox Chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ergo, she was the sole person who could use it before doing and after the murder, which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by this girl. Oh shit. And your point is? Until Jinxie Tenma opened the Fox Chamber with her key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world, and there was no one else in there save the victim and his killer. I trust you have figured it out for yourself by now. He reckons that she's the one who opened the Fox Chamber. A killer other than Mayor Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable. No! This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Objection!
Objection! Go on, Athena! How could this happen? The defense's assistant will refrain from growling her frustrations. Athena, are you alright? I know Mayor Tenma is innocent, but there's nothing we can do. This sucks! Sykes Donner, allow me to put you out of your misery. Can I decline your offer? Abandon your client and your misplaced faith in him. Let the relief of a clear head and a clean conscience come rushing in. That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept. Great, now he's playing Simon Says with us. Well, he's not going to fool us with his stupid mind games. Athena, don't fall for his tricks. No, I'm the one who's dazed and confused. I can't even think straight. Hey, are you alright? She fell right into his trap. Now, I suggest you make a mad dash from the courtroom and into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared and your conscience cleansed. Alright, I'll be back in 10. Objection! Stay with me, Athena. Don't let yourself be twisted by that samurai. Apollo? Mr. Justice, I heard the word objection, but what is it you object to? Huh? Alright. That objection was more of a reflex than anything else. I mean, it always has been. Though I was hoping something would come to me while I was trying to stop Athena. The court is waiting, Mr. Justice. Though as it stands now, I'll be forced to declare your client guilty and your legal skills suspect if this is it. Now, do you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case? Well, actually, I do. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Apollo, you do have something more than your cord to steal, don't you? Not really, but we'll be fine. But... I've got absolutely nothing, but that's never stopped me before. I have to explain how the real killer could have escaped that locked room. Because it's all over if I don't. Apollo, this calls for a new approach. Try to think outside the box. Or in this case, inside the box. And what a doozy that locked room is, too. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have anything that can counter the prosecution's argument? You bet I do. The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or another. Vague conjecture shall only earn you a taste of my blade, Justice Dono. Time to do or die, literally. The defense will now explain how it would be possible to escape the locked room. You sure about this, Apollo? Can you really explain what happened? I'm fine. We just need to think this whole escaping a locked room thing over from the beginning. So, let's see. If the killer had escaped, how could they have done so? The choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but it doesn't open wide enough for anyone to get through, and there's a sheer cliff outside. As for the air vent, it's up too high, and there's nothing you can stand on to reach it. And needless to say, the forbidden chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's out. Yeah, that's why we gotta keep the solution simple. Like they say, simple is best. We need to rule out all of the absolutely impossible escape routes. Then whatever's left just might lead us to how the Fox chamber was compromised. Your Honor, the defense purposes are that the killer escaped through here.
Take that!
Here? I don't know.
Take that!
I can't see how he would escape. Let's try the doors. It has a window, but it doesn't open much. So it must be this then, the door.
Take that!
The hallway door? Well, yes, I suppose that would be the only way out. It would appear you've already forgotten. The only available key until Jinxie Tenmark came on scene was within that locked room. How would one exit the Fox chamber and then lock it without a key, I should have seen this coming. Remember, Apollo, keep it simple. Simple, right. I could understand if the killer had exited the room with the key, but... Well, Mr. Justice, the prosecution has some fine Japanese still waiting unless you explain yourself quickly. Good. I'm fine. I can explain myself. The reason the Fox Chamber's hallway door was locked was because... No, Tenma didn't lock different. Must have locked it from the outside. What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key through the hallway door oh. That's a no. The master key was found inside. Yeah. Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside. Inside the room, which does seem like a contradiction. Be inside the room and be used to lock the key from the outside. Do it in from outside. What if someone threw it into the room from outside? You know, something like go out the hallway door, lock the room, and then toss the key back in through the window. That would explain how the master key could be inside the locked room. Or where would you throw it from? There is a cliff outside the Fox Chambers window. Throwing the key in from there is an impossibility. The air vent. Oh. Ah! I haven't lost a hit point. I wonder if the key could have been tossed in from somewhere other than the window. I've been tossed in through somewhere other than the window. Yes, through an air duct.
Take that!
The air vent? Yes, the window may be out of the question, but the air vent's not. Oh, that's right. The Fox Chambers air duct leads out into the hallway. That's right. The real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside the Fox Chamber. Then dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the chamber. That's preposterous. Oh, that explains how the key got in there after it was used to lock the door perfectly. Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused. Don't worry. I'll explain it so even your honor can understand. First, the real killer disguised as Tenma Taro murdered the alderman in the Fox Chamber. Then they fled the room through the hallway door and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside in the hallway. Finally, the killer tossed the key into the room through the air vent in the ceiling there. All that was left to do after that was go back through the air duct and flee the manor. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer? Amazing, even I could follow that. The judge seems really pleased. That explains everything. The real killer was someone dressed up like Tenma Taro, and there was someone else other than the mayor and the alderman in that room. Yes! We got this! Did the woman says I found him so attractive now? Order, 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 I say. Now that I've proved a possible third party, I don't see how our client could be guilty.
Silence.
Silence. A valiant effort, Justice Donner, but your final thrust missed its mark. Huh? Both that little scamp and the tricksy Tanuki saw the yokai after it left the room. But then what? Did that irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz right out the front door? That's exactly what happened. The killer fled from the... Ouch! Let me finish my sentence! But that is impossible without being spotted by the foyer security camera, that is. The electric eye here would have captured any pesky little yokai trying to escape. However, there is no sign of Tenma Taro anywhere in the security footage. Of course there isn't. What? Save for the foyer entrance, there is no other way to flee the manor, is there? I don't feel so good.
Hold it!
Hold it! Wait, I believe there is one other way to escape besides the foyer entrance. Where? There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security camera. Hey, you're right!
Silence!
Fuck your silence! Must I point out every crucial detail to the defense? It seems you lack not only brains, but investigative prowess to boot. That is the cliffside of the manor. The only killer escaping that way would be a dead one. No! Wait, so the killer didn't escape out the foyer window? What the heck, right? Huh. I suppose your next proposal is the killer sprouted wings and flew off into the sunset. That would mean the killer really was a yokai. If only we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer. Who's saying we don't? As completely far-fetched as it might, we have the newspaper! What? You say you could prove the killer could fly? Whoa, I thought I was the one with the cause of steel. Let's go! Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Your Honor? What evidence do you have that the killer flew away? This one!
Take that!
Take a look at this special edition paper. Tenma Taro, real or flight of fancy? What does this article prove, Mr. Justice? The photo in that article was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the yokai in that photo is the killer shortly after they fled out of the window? Mr. Justice, you're not seriously suggesting... Oh, I'm serious. I mean, it all adds up. The killer disguised as Tenma Taro flew away. You know, by some way or another.
Silence!
It is your brain that has flown the coop. That image is naught but trick photography or some other form of artifice. Okay then, how about the Tenma Taro figure Mr. Filch saw? It just vanished into thin air? No, there is a rational common sense explanation for that. That infernal yokai, our tricksy tanuki, witness never reached the entrance. He, or should I say she, turned back before the camera's electric eye. She? I don't know where this is going. Is he saying Jinxie is a yokai? Now, the fact that we know that the yokai had come from the Fox Chamber means that it was likely either Mayor Damien Tenma or his daughter Jinxie Tenma. However, we know that Mayor Tenma was already unconscious at that time. Not good. Not good at all. Do you understand the gravity of the situation now, Justice Dono? There's also a door there. Is that a door? I don't think... Oh, no, that's not a door, I don't think. The falsified yokai remnants. And the appearance of Tenma Taro were the work of one individual. And that individual is none other than Jinxie Tenma. No. Fuck Apollo! Order! Order! The defense will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever. The little scamp was no doubt simply trying to protect her father. And it's no wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade. Prosecutor Blackwell's assertion makes perfect sense to me. It's far more convincing than saying the killer escaped by flying out of the window. Did you truly believe this could end any other way? Did you fall right into his trap? What do we do now, Apollo? Our case no longer stands without a real yokai. If only we had one. Bailiff, seize her. It is time I interrogated her as the samurai of your wood. Is that the mayor? Mayor Tenma? This farce is over. How does it feel seeing your own daughter accused of a cover-up most foul? Tenma Taro's true identity is... Now, Mr. Mayor, it would be futile at this point to claim you were the yokai. After all, you had been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Slipping into a yokai costume and roaming about the manor would be all but impossible. Oh, Tenma, consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. But if you confess, the prosecution will be willing to overlook her little yokai farce. Confess? The defendant intends to confess? Wait. Apollo! Prosecutor Blackwell's up to his mind games again. Mayor Tenma, no. Don't fall for his twisted words. If he's sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left all alone. The real killer is... Mayor Tenma's going to confess unless we do something. But I can't prove how the real killer could have flown away. Caw. Look upon me in despair, for ripe is the time for my return. I shall watch what I wish for. Caw, foolish mortals. What's going on? I am Tenma Taro, the yokai you seek. Mayor Tenma? Silence! I am Tenma Taro, freed from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Behold the return of the Demon King. What the? Demon King? Well then, I think it's time for me to take a vacation. What is happening? The weirdest will... he will explain himself. Are you saying you're Tenma Taro, the yokai we've been chasing this whole time? Indeed, it is I, Tenma Taro, the one whom you seek, come to reveal the truth. This child is Tenma Taro, you say? Ha! What nonsense! So, Mayor Tenma is a yokai now? What is happening? His body is now mine. So you're saying that Mayor Tenma is being possessed by you? And that the yokai that Jinxie Tenma and Phineas Filch saw? And the one captured in the newspaper photo? Those were all you. The accursed power of these warding charms prevents me from revealing my true form. You boldness! Can this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt? Well, a confession by a yokai would be quite unprecedented. Be that as it may, the defense's case has been overturned. Huh? What? You claimed the yokai that little scamp saw was some third party, the true killer. The one who escaped from the locked fox chamber, but it was the accused all along. Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be the real in a manner of speaking. For the alderman's killer is none other than Mayor Tenma. And the yokai at the scene? I mean, getting possessed isn't... This isn't the only time someone got possessed in an Ace Attorney game. That too was Mayor Tenma, or should I say, our dear Tenma Taro. The pieces have all fallen into place. How so, Prosecutor Blackwell? It seems I must spell it all out for you. Mayor Tenma killed the alderman in the fox chamber, which was locked at the time. He then removed the warding charms from the Forbidden Chamber's door. When they fell unconscious from the blow the alderman had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter Jinxie Tenma stumbled on the scene of the crime. But we know who the real killer is. It's not him. The little scamp fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Tenma Taro, freed at last from the charm's warding effect, took possession of the mayor. The newly freed Tenma Taro then fled from the fox chamber. But he doesn't believe in these superstition stuff. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Tenma saw was her father possessed by Tenma Taro.
Objection!
But when we arrived on scene, the mayor was found unconscious. How's that possible if he was supposed to have flown out the foyer window? The what? Do you mean to say the maid of Kyobei Manor, Jinxie Tenma, was Tenma Taro? Car, that too is easily explained. Flew about for a time to die, but presently tired, I made for the Forbidden Chamber. But alas, exhaustion took me unawares in the Fox Chamber, and I knew no more. It would seem the pieces are still in place. Is Blackwell up to his tricks again? I think so. I don't know what to say. Is the defendant a real live? Order! Now he's got everyone in the courtroom believing in yokai. It's Simon Says on steroids! Oh, fucking hell! He wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming a yokai. The proverbial ducks are all in a row. You should now have no qualms about finding the accused guilty of boldness. This is one of the most bizarre cases in my entire career. No, I can think of other bizarre cases. Otherworldly, in fact. I think you've forgotten about, you know, the evil girl possessing Maya kind of thing. Can yokai even be prosecuted under our legal system? Mayor Tenma is just pretending to be Tenma Taro to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved how a third party could have escaped from the locked room. A verdict at this point would be premature. Since both sides have raised valid points, I have no choice but to... Oh, fuck's sake. This is the dark age of law where defense attorneys are not to be trusted. This is but a ploy to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight? No, you will not let the sun rise on the mayor's day of reckoning. Justice dawn.
Objection!
I won't fabricate any evidence.
Silence!
Then prove it by joining me. No, a night in the clink will ensure you will not succumb to temptation. However, I just promise not to succumb to anything. We have both evidence and a confession. The killer is this yokai before us. It is beyond dispute. No! A guilty verdict is all but... What's wrong with him? Prosecutor Blackwell, we've had enough of your hijinks. The foundation of justice is fair play, and you are in serious violation of that. What in the devil was that? Fool Bright, have you tampered with my shackles in some manner? It seems you found that quite shocking. It's my special jolt of justice device. Each press is a shocking reminder to behave. You shall pay for this. I, Simon Blackwell. Okay, that is satisfying. I like Fulbright now. He's fun. I love him. Your Honor, you need not fear now. I believe Prosecutor Blackwell will remain on his best behavior. A bit late with the reassurances, aren't we, Detective? Yeah, I feel like we're almost done with the first part, with the first trial. Well, in that case... This concludes today's deliberations. The prosecution and defense will use this opportunity to further their investigations. This court is adjourned. Thank you, Fulbright. Otherwise, this is going to go on forever. Yes. Yes, I will save that and call it a day. This is the end of the stream because I am so exhausted and need to get to bed. Now, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me in my stream. It's lovely to have you guys here. I won't be streaming tomorrow because I am starting early on Friday. But I will be back on Friday night for some Baldur's Gate 3. So that would be super fun, right? And that would be super duper good. Just looking. No. Anyway, I'm going to see who is available to raid. And so I feel... Oh, Marvel Rivals! Someone's playing Miss Shadow... Miss Shadow Lovely's playing Marvel Rivals, and since we were playing, thanks for a fun stream. Oh, thank you, Ifa. Thank you for coming by and say hi. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope you get to play Minecraft as well, and definitely enjoy it. I'm gonna send you over to Miss Shadow Lovely. She is playing. I presume she's playing Marvel Rivals with a couple of peeps. No, it's just her. Well, I'm sending you guys over anyway. She's like one of my comfort streamers. And considering I played Marvel Rivals yesterday, it seems fair. Oh, Karma, I'm so sorry. I just finished streaming and sending you over through a raid, but at least let me give you a shout out. I'm so sorry. How are you doing, Karma? I'm really exhausted, so I'm just about leaving. We just did the trial for the second case of the second game of Apollo Justice. But welcome. Don't worry, I'll be back on Friday for some Baldur's Gate shoe sword. Thank you, Karma. It's lovely to have you here, lovely. But yes, I definitely need to go. Oh, there is a raid, but it's under Streamlabs, and I didn't change to Stream Elements. I'm so sorry, Frog. Here, you can have some hypes. You can't get... I'm trying to find some. No! Oh, stupid Mac! No! Did I miss it? I did. Anyway, I will go. Take care, everyone. Bye.